Hey there, fellow explorer, and welcome to a special Espirito edition of the Deep Dive.
Espirito.
Yeah, Espirito Deep, you could say.
I like that.
You know, it's Italian for expert, so we're
Ah,
taking our expertise to the next level for you today.
I'm
Ever seen those pictures? The ones that just, explode with energy. An absolute riot of color and music. I mean, you can practically feel the rhythm, even just looking at a photo.
Yeah, it grabs you, doesn't it? That's Brazilian Carnival for you. It's a global phenomenon at this point. And today, we're going to really try to get under its skin.
Yeah, it's more than just a party.
Yeah.
A lot more. And we're going to deep dive into it, figure out what makes it tick.
Absolutely. We've got some amazing source material to work with. It really gets at the heart of Carnival.
Yeah, really dives into the origins, like what actually happens during the celebration and all the different flavors of Carnival you get across Brazil. It's not just one thing.
Oh, absolutely. That's one of the things that makes it so fascinating. You've got the big, iconic celebrations in Rio, but then each region has its own unique twist, its own history.
So let's get down to it. Where does all this incredible energy come from? What's the root of it all?
Well, it's really interesting to trace it back. Our sources highlight the Portuguese Intrudo, this festival that happened right before Lent.
Oh, yeah, Lent, like a time for reflection. Right?
Exactly. So Intrudo was like this period of letting loose before things got a little more serious, a chance to indulge. But what's really interesting is how this European tradition didn't just land in Brazil and stay the same.
It morphed, adapted.
Exactly. It encountered and then melded with the traditions of the African and indigenous peoples in Brazil.
Ah, so it's like a real cultural fusion.
It is. That's what gives Brazilian Carnival its own distinct flavor. The term carnival itself comes from the Latin carnival, and it literally means farewell to the flesh.
So still tied to that pre-Lenten period.
Definitely. But it's become so much more than that. It's evolved into this incredible crossroads of cultures, a vibrant demonstration of Brazil's diverse heritage. You see European, African, and indigenous influences all mixed together in the music, the dancing, the art.
And all of this just comes bursting out during Carnival.
It does. It's amazing. One of the things our sources really emphasized is how during Carnival, the usual social barriers kind of disappear. People from all walks of life join the celebration. Everyone's united.
Wow, that's pretty powerful. Like this huge event that just brings everyone together. Okay, so when you think of Carnival, right, what's the first image that pops into your head? It's probably those incredible Samba school parades.
Right. They're iconic.
They are.
Yeah.
So tell me, what's the story behind those parades?
Well, especially the ones in Rio de Janeiro, those parades are considered by many to be the absolute heart of Carnival. And it's the amount of work, the dedication that goes into them that's mind-blowing.
They don't just, appear overnight, do they?
No way. These Samba schools work all year round. I mean, the entire year. They're building these elaborate floats, designing those incredibly detailed costumes. And then there's the music, of course, the practice, the rehearsals. It's nonstop.
A year-round passion project for these communities.
Hmm.
And all building up to this incredible spectacle. And this all takes place in the Sambadrome, right?
Exactly. The Sambadrome, it's this purpose-built stadium specifically designed to showcase these parades. It becomes this stage, for this unbelievable display of creativity. But it's not just about the show.
There's competition.
Oh, yeah. The schools are competing for the championship title, and that adds a whole other level of intensity to the whole thing. Everyone wants to be the best.
I bet. And I mean, to be there in the Sambadrome, it's got to be sensory overload. I mean, our sources were talking about the dazzling colors, the intricate artwork on the floats and the costumes, and that samba music, that rhythm just pulsing through everything.
It really gets under your skin. It's hard to imagine the energy unless you're there. But then there's another whole side to Carnival. It's not just about the parades in the Sambadrome.
Blocos, right? The street parties.
You got it. These blocos are street parties, and they're open to everyone. You've got live music, dancing, and this just pure carefree vibe. It's incredible.
So it's like a more casual, accessible way to be a part of Carnival. Just spill out to the streets and join in.
Exactly. And what's so cool is the diversity of the blocos. You've got small local neighborhood gatherings, really intimate and focused on that community spirit. But then you've got these massive blocos that draw tens of thousands of people.
So you can really choose your own Carnival adventure. You don't have to be part of a formal Samba school to experience it.
Not at all. The street parties are a fundamental part of Carnival. They make the joy, the energy, accessible to everyone who wants to be a part of it.
Hmm.
But, while Rio might be the most famous face of Carnival, we can't forget that it's a countrywide celebration.
Right, it's not just a Rio thing.
Yeah.
But does it have different flavors in different parts of the country?
It absolutely does. Each region brings its own unique character to the carnival celebrations, like
Yeah.
Salvador in Bahia. It's got this really strong Afro-Brazilian heritage that deeply influences their carnival.
Cool. So how does that show up?
Well, for example, there's the trios elétricos. Basically, these trucks, they're like mobile sound stages.
Like a party on wheels.
Exactly. And they lead these massive street parties, blasting their own unique musical styles. It's an experience. Then you've got Recife and Olinda.
So what sets them apart?
There, the rhythms of frevo and maracatu are king. Frevo is this really fast-paced, acrobatic style of music and dance.
I've seen pictures, I think. The dancers have those little umbrellas.
Yeah, often they do. While maracatu, it's this powerful Afro-Brazilian drumming tradition, really intense. So you can see each region has its own unique flavor, its own history that shapes its carnival.
A whole tapestry of celebrations happening all across the country.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
Okay, we can't forget about the costumes, can we? Our sources made it clear they're a pretty crucial part of the whole experience.
Absolutely. Carnival is this amazing opportunity for self-expression. You can be whoever you want to be. And the costumes, they're essential to that transformation. You see it all, from these elaborate sequin creations that are just unbelievable works of art.
Right. I've seen pictures. Some of them are mind-blowing.
They are. But then you've also got people just putting together fun, whimsical outfits. It's about embracing the playful spirit of carnival, expressing yourself however you want.
So all of this put together, it must be an overwhelming experience. The sources even use the phrase sensory overload. The music, the colors, the energy of the crowd, it's got to be something else.
It is, and for many Brazilians, our sources emphasize this. It's this really important time for joy and release, a chance to let go of all the worries and just celebrate life.
Makes sense. A collective exhale for the entire nation. But it's not all just fun and games, right? There's a serious economic side to Carnival as well.
Oh, absolutely. Carnival attracts millions of tourists from all over Brazil and the world, and that generates a huge amount of revenue for the country. It's a major economic event, but it's also this really vital social event, bringing communities together.
So it really is more than just a party, isn't it? It's this incredibly profound expression of national identity. It celebrates Brazil's diverse heritage and that human spirit of joy and resilience.
Exactly. It really makes you think, doesn't it? About how these cultural celebrations, things that might seem just about fun and spectacle, can actually have so much depth. They reflect and shape a nation's identity. And, it makes you wonder what other events in other cultures might seem like just entertainment, but actually carry that same kind of deep cultural weight. It's worth thinking about.
Definitely something to ponder.